Simple things, outreach media. Simple things, outreach media. Simple things, simple things, simple things. Get your daily dose, fill your cup up to the brim until it overflows. Blessings of God and simple things. Morning worship when you rise. Enrich your lifestyle. Hear words of wisdom. Experience God's love. Only on simple things. Outreach media. Simple things. Outreach media. Simple things. Simple things. Simple things. And remember to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and experience simple things. Outreach Media.
Blessings, everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. How is everyone doing out there? Let me position my mic properly. How was your Sunday? I hope you all had a good Sunday. How was your Sunday dinner? How was your week? What are the prospects for the upcoming week? Brother Overton, a son of a king, a prince is here. Welcome, Overton. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's not bedtime yet, Overton. Good night, Mama Simple Things. I know it must be a bedtime. Thanks for joining, Overton. How you do? How has things been going? Welcome, everyone. Juba in the building. Thanks for stopping by, Juba, and for blessing me up with all those emojis. Miss Gay is here. How you doing, Miss Gay? I'd love to see the hairstyle now, Miss Gay. I was on the live earlier when you were getting your hair done, when Mika was doing your hair. I really love the mother-daughter bond between you two. I want to see the hairdo. When I come down, I can get mine done. All right, Mika? Overton. Overton, blessing up everyone. Thanks for stopping by, Overton. What time is it now? 7:05. Almost 12:30, Overton. What, you off tomorrow? Just about to go to bed. And them late hours that you beat, man. Almost 12:30 for you now. Thanks for stopping by, my dear. Thank you so much. Guys, give a thumbs up as you come in. Share if you can. As I said before, I'm trying to get back my monetization. So you know how it go. I need the WH as well. Content creators, you know what I mean. So just do the do if you can. All right. Thanks, Overton. Thanks for stopping by to show some love. We have another very interesting program lined up tonight. A great show, but when the numbers come rolling in, then we'll get rolling. So how was your week, Overton? How was church today? I see your uploads on IG sometimes, like from church. What's the name of your church? Is it like revivalist? Is it like a revivalist or based on your pictures sometime? Is it like a revivalist? Over here they call it like Southern Baptist. I think that's the same as what we call revivalist back home. Is it? Yes, man. I saw a post that you made when you got back home. I didn't know you were. That's like 3 hours from me. that's that's so close and yet so far, Overton. That's a good little distance from me, but it was nice of you. Given the weather over there now, I know you must have enjoyed the weather here because it's like Florida didn't really get any winter this year. We don't have harsh winters, but sometime like in the nights, the coldest part of the early morning and so can go even like high 30s, 38, 39 degrees sometimes. But this year, I think maybe high 40s is the lowest we have gone this season. Oh, okay. I figured it was a revivalist. Yeah, man. We used to, as a teenager, there are some, we have one in our community back home. And as when we were in high school, my sister and a few friends and I used to go like watch night, watch night service. We used to go to their watch night service sometimes. Yes, man. So I know you must have enjoyed the weather over here, but you're gone back into the ice box. Oh, you're going back into the icebox now. Sorry, my dear. So I guess you're back on the beat tomorrow. Back to the grind tomorrow. But I hope you enjoyed your vacation. That's so nice. So thanks for stopping by. And I pray you have a good night. Stay safe. All right. Thanks for coming in. You're coming back next year. Okay. Yeah, yeah, man. The weather was. Did you go to Miami Beach? Like Ocean Drive? Did you go to that area, Ocean Drive, along Miami Beach, along that strip there? It's very nice down there. It's sort of crowded, but I wouldn't expect it to be crowded this time of year since like spring break, and so I would never set foot in that area. Because all of the young people, and that is young people time. Big people are there during that time as well, but to me it would be too crowded because I don't like large crowds like that. I like having people around me, but I like enough space to be able to enjoy yourself. You see, like back home, like on Easter Monday, I remember I think it's 1 year I've ever been to like Negril Beach on an Easter Monday. I think it was a bus ride. I'd never go again to the beach like Negril and Ochi and those places, Duns River and like Easter Monday in Jamaica. So it's like that spring break here, like at Miami Beach and so. Mm-mm. Not for me, it's too much crowd. You understand? I like just enough space to be able to enjoy myself. Okay, and I don't go to the beach. I said, okay, okay, okay. So you were on the king's service. God bless you. I hope it was a blessing. Well, I know it must have been a blessing. Just keep it up on the king's service. The little song used to say, don't you know that I'm moving up the King's Highway, up the King's Highway, moving up the King's Highway. So you were moving up the King's Highway, Brother Overton. So I hope that was a blessing. So you're going back, you went back recharged to start a new week. So it come on. Don't you know that I'm trusting in amazing grace, trusting in amazing grace. Bless up everyone. Thanks for coming in. Share if you can. We have another very interesting topic. Before we go into it, as usual, we'll have prayers. Always start my life with prayers. And then feel free to take part. Tonight is big people time. Since I started up this show, we have 3 live streams so far in February. And those were mainly geared towards the younger people, the youth. But tonight is big people arguments. I mean, it goes for everybody, but tonight is for the more matured church audience. You understand? So we're gonna invite everybody to weigh in on the topic later on, right? When we get started up officially. So let's see. Let's get the numbers up a bit so that no one misses anything that goes on, right? And if you're watching in future, just know that at the start of it, I don't get right into the topic same time until the numbers roll in. All right. So if you're watching in future, it will still be a blessing. The topic we'll look at tonight, and we try to look at it everything over here from a biblical point of view. All right. It's not a Bible study. It's just a social conversation, so to speak. But in everything, God is at the head. So we discuss everything from the point of view of the standards that God set for us. So I need some mature the church folks to come in now and to weigh in on the topic. Yes, it was a blessing. Yes, man. I'd imagine over 10. Anyway, yes. So what time you have to get up in the morning? Or you're not going back to work tomorrow? Because at this hour, 12:30, if you have to go to work, you're only going to get about 6 hours sleep. Well, you're a big man. That is enough for you, right? 6 to 8 hours is the required. So that 6 hours would be good enough. Thank you so much, Overton. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night, all right? And stay blessed. Thank you so much. Yes, so tonight's topic, guys, we're going to look at something a little bit more matured. I have a few clips I want to. When I say not a little bit more matured, I mean geared more towards the older audience. I'd like a little bit more mature, the church folks, to weigh in later on to share their experiences. As usual, I'll drop the link in the chat. There's a phone number you can call and WhatsApp if you need that number. I'll put it in the chat as well. And if you're single, church person, Christian or non-Christian, but godly person, all right, and you're interested in meeting and getting to know members of the opposite sex, then you can also put your desire in the chat, or if you want to come up later on to share a little bit about yourself, or if you want to call and WhatsApp, I put that number. You can also reach out to me on my social media links. On Facebook, it's the same, Simple Things Outreach Media. And you can also reach out to me on IG at this link. Okay, so that's my IG link. You can reach out to me there. You can DM me, and I can get you connected based on, what the response is. If you just like to meet members of the opposite sex, godly persons, Christian minded persons, all right? And even if not, but you can just let me know, and we can connect with each other over here in that sense, because sometimes people find it difficult. I, for one, am not the type of person who could meet someone online, or someone introduce me to someone. I have to know the person, observe them over time without they even knowing that I have an interest, because people put their best foot forward when they're unaware that they're being observed. All right. And that is the type of person when you least expect that someone watching you, and you let your hair down, so to speak, your hair, not your wig or your body. Understand? That's when you show who you really are. But if you're like someone tell you about someone or introduce you to someone, of course you're gonna put on a show when you meet that person. You're gonna pretend to be what you are not. Then under normal circumstances, now that veneer get peeled away and you start revealing your true colors, and that turns out to be not the person who the person was interested in. All right, so we're gonna pray and start up it in a bit. Another interesting night coming up. Okay, I'm trying to keep it at 2 hours, but who knows? Depending on the outcome, the turnout, I might just keep it a bit longer. As I said, I need the hours as well. So let's see how it goes. But I'm not in a position to sit up for too long because of my back and my neck. So 2 hours might be maximum. The funny thing is, with these glasses, I don't know, apparently the lenses are down here. So the funny thing, when you sit at your desk, you have to cram your neck up like this. I have to cram my neck up like this to be reading the screen, the computer screen from here. And that hurts around here even more. So I realize that sitting up is even worse than anything else. So thanks for coming in, guys. All right, I think we can pray and get started. Or we just chit chat a little bit longer and see who watch the numbers a bit, and then we get started. Share if you can, if you're in the background, all right? Yes. Oh, I read that already. If you're in the background, share. Give a thumbs up, please. Okay, that's very important when you go on a live stream. Interact with the host as much as possible, right? That will help the channel. So give a thumbs up if you're not able to communicate in the chat or to comment in the chat. Just hit that word SUBSCRIBE below the video and connect with me and become a part of this discussion tonight. It's all about dialogue, okay? So we're going to pray. Let's have a word of prayer, everyone. God first. Put God first in everything. Okay. Father in heaven, I thank you for another opportunity to appear on this platform tonight. Thank you for blessing me on this platform, Lord. Although I haven't been too active for over maybe a year and a half or more. But Father, you have laid it on my heart to start back these dialogue, these live streams, and these, just open up discussions, Father God, that can be a blessing to others. When we share our experiences, Father, it helps others to grow. It helps others to learn lessons and to avoid the pitfalls that we fell in. So, Lord, I pray that tonight you'll send many people out tonight that this program can be a blessing to them and that they can be a blessing to me as well. Father, forgive me of my sins, I pray. Bless everyone on this platform, everyone who is here now, everyone, all my viewers and subscribers, Lord, everyone who will connect with me in future. Bless everyone who will watch this program in future. And may everything that be done here tonight be a blessing to someone, Lord, and bring honor and glory to your holy name. Continue to bless and keep us, Father God, we pray. And just thank you once more for tonight. Thank you for your many blessings, Lord. We pray in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen and amen. Okay. So in everything, God is at the head. Okay. So tonight we're gonna look at another very interesting topic. We're looking at age. Right? Does age make a difference? Some people will say age is just a number. That's so cliche. And sometimes I always wonder, what do you mean when you say age is just a number? Or the age is not important and that sort of thing. And we're looking at that in the sense of relationships and courtships and marriage. All right. From the Bible perspective, from a Christian standard. Okay, because very often we see, like within the church especially, it's older men and the younger women. And also, like in the early years, in the early 20s, we find that there are more, at that age group, there are generally more females in the church than males. So that could be a reason as well. While some of the men tend to come in after they have lived their life out there, so to speak. Maybe were married before, maybe had children before, that sort of thing. But definitely having had relationships before, and maybe those failed, and then they are trying a different outlook. Miss Monica, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see you there. Mega love, shout out, host and chat. Thank you so much. I don't think Overton is here again, Miss Monica, because he's 5 hours ahead. So he said he was going off to bed. Thanks for coming in, my dear. And I didn't join any of your lives this week, but I watched some of your videos. Keep up the good work. Blessings to you and your daughter and Miss Summer. And Miss Summer going on with things over there on IG. That's so nice. It's like she has become a brand now. That's great. God bless you, my dear. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for all the prayers through the ups and downs. But for myself and my family, my kids, I thank you so much. I really appreciate you. May God bless you always, and may everything you put your heart to and your hand to come through according to your desires and according to God's will for your life. Yes, my dear. So tonight we're looking at the age difference in relationships and courtships and marriages, right? So like I was saying, a lot of times we find that the men turn their life over to Christ at an older age than than females, than the ladies. So men, a lot of times, like they try relationships or marriages and something failed out there, and they come into the church. So they come in at an older age. So a lot of the times now, the young ladies in their 20s or so, there's a shortage of men in that age group within the church. So when they're ready to find a godly partner and they're looking within their church or their church community, so it can be another location, another branch, as we say in Jamaica. Over here, people don't really refer to things as branch. They refer to them as locations. Livingston. Welcome, Livy. How you do? Yes, we continue to pray for your strength, sis. Thank you so much, Miss Monica. Long time Livingston. You're right about that. How you do? How you do? Welcome, Juba, my son. What's up? I don't even know if Juba is back. He was here. He was here before I started. And Miss Monica, welcoming everybody. Thank you so much. Right. So when the young ladies come in, when the young ladies already know to find a godly partner, they hardly can find enough eligible. I said, no, eligible. That word is funny. Men in their age group, and the men already run road and come in at a later age. So within the church, there tend to be the age gap thing. There might be other reasons. You could express that in the chat, or if anybody has experience they want to share. As I said, later on, feel free. I'm going to drop the link. You feel free to come up, or if you'd rather call in, I have a number you can call in on WhatsApp. All right. So there might be other reasons, but I do think that is the main reason. I'm okay, my sister, listening as I work. Thank you so much. Thanks for that, Livingston. I really appreciate your support, bro. Share with someone if you can, and remember to give a thumbs up. Yes. So because of that angle, no, there tend to be an age gap. But what we want to look at tonight is, does it really matter? Does the age gap really matter? And if so, how or why? There can be a lot of factors that affect that determine whether that age gap matters. Personally, I do believe that what matters at one age group might not matter at another age group, right? I am okay. Thank you, Miss Monica. Anytime, Livingston. I am convinced that, for instance, when you were Livingston, when you were 25, for instance, it would be totally not just illegal, but totally out of this world, totally inappropriate to be interested in a 15-year-old. That's a 10 years gap, right? 15, 25, especially when you're the man and the girl is 15. It can be the other way around would be even no, well, especially the other way around, that would be totally inappropriate and looked down on by society. But if you upgrade now to a decade later, 25, 35, it doesn't really seem to make a difference at that age. And you keep going up 35, 45, 45, and 55, going up. It really doesn't, that 10 years gap doesn't seem like anything as it did at 15 and 25. Also, for me personally, it matters to me personally at every age, but it doesn't seem so inappropriate. And it really doesn't matter to some people. But for me personally, I tend to look and say, oh, you mean when he was 15, me just a barn, you understand? Or that sort of thing. Or when I was born, he was already 50. That's how I keep thinking of it. So I keep thinking of it that way. So regardless of the age group, to me, it matters personally. While to some people it doesn't. And Miss Monica laughing, right? So that is one factor. The age group makes a difference to the age gap, right? It is one factor in determining whether the age gap matters. A next factor that I can think of that determines whether the age gap matters is a stage of life that you are at. Because let's say my son is in college now, let's say he was talking to someone, he had a girlfriend like just 4 years younger. You could be 18, even 19 in 12th grade in high school. So you're a senior in high school and a senior in college. It's sort of, the age don't really matter in that sense, but the stage of life matters because I don't see let's say, flip it other way around. Let's say the guy is in high school and the girl is a senior in high school and the girl is a senior in college. I don't see a senior in college, a girl in college, feeling comfortable dating a senior in high school, and it might even seem you can't really look at them and tell the age difference. But in terms of even their conversations, because the college student would have been exposed to so much more, would have been so much more matured, would have had so much more wisdom and that sort of thing. Just experience in college alone makes a big difference. So the stage of life also matters. All right. Then you can step it up a little bit more now. Increase the age 10 decades later, so to speak. One person already finished college, well launched in their career, have their own house and everything that they need or whatever, maybe even had a child already or that sort of thing. And the other person is just now finishing up college, that sort of thing. It might not matter when the younger person is a female and the older person is the male, but when you flip it the other way around, it might be inappropriate. It might even seem inappropriate to society, and it might feel uncomfortable to either. So that is another factor. The stage of life is another factor that determines whether the age gap or the age difference matters. All right. So those are two factors. The age group, and the second factor is the stage of life that they are both at. So the dialogue continues, the conversation continues. Thanks for coming in, everyone. If you're in the background, connect with me so you can participate in the chat. And if you have an experience you'd like to share, feel free to do so. You can put it in the chat if you want to come on screen and share. My screen is open. It's as long as you maintain the standards. Language matters to me. All right, we have to keep the language clean. And it also matters to the YouTube platform. There are certain things we can just say or do on this platform. So that matters. Also, if you're listening in the background and you want to call in and share your opinion or your experience, I have a number that you could call on WhatsApp. You can type your desire to do so in the chat, and I can put the number in the chat. All right. And experiences are always welcome because experiences are a fact, but opinions is not really what I welcome so much on my platform. Yes, you can share your view, but that's different from your opinion, because if your opinion doesn't match up with the facts and everything is looked at from the word of God, from that point of view, if your opinion don't fall in line with God's standards, then it really don't matter to God. So it really don't matter to me. Okay, because my opinion is not what matters to God. So thanks for coming in. Give a thumbs up as you join and weigh in on the conversation as we go along. All right. Feel free to comment in the chat. Give a thumbs up and interact with us. That will help to put this video out and to help to grow my platform.
Simple things, outreach media. Simple things, outreach media. Simple things, simple things, simple things. Get your daily dose, fill your cup up to the brim until it overflows. Blessings of God and simple things. Morning worship when you rise. Enrich your lifestyle. Hear words of wisdom. Experience God's love. Only on simple things. Outreach media. Simple things. Outreach media. Simple things. Simple things. Simple things. And remember to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and experience simple things. Outreach Media.
Yes, blessings, everyone. Thanks so much for joining Mommy Simple over here on a Sunday night. This is where it's at. We're alive again because we're alive again, but we were always alive by the grace of God. Thanks for coming in. So I have some video clips that I want to share with you of, you know, I was watching a video, and the young lady, the little girl was just 14. This is from Nigeria, when her mother sold her off, so to speak. You know how different cultures differ, and even within one nation, tribe there are tribal differences, and there are different and religious cultures, because some countries their culture is based on their religion, or their religion is based on their culture. The two are intrinsically tied together. So she was just 14 when her mother, quote unquote, sold her off to a 55-year-old. So I have two video clips I want to share from that. And I have another one. I wonder why Miss Monica is laughing. Another one that I took from, I think, Judge Mattis, that we can look at. And that one falls in line with what I was saying earlier about the age difference. One factor affecting the age difference is the age group, so we can look at that. T Blair cooking. Welcome, T Blair. It's been a while. Well, I haven't been around in a long while. So everybody's, apart from like Miss Monica, so who I interact with her on IG, and I from time to time I watch her videos and so still, but I haven't been too active on the platform lately. I'm just trying to build up back so I can reapply for my monetization by reconnecting with my Stum fam, right? My YT community. So, T. Blair, it's nice to have you, and feel free to weigh in on the conversation. So, I'm going to share those video clips in a bit, and we can use them as the experiences of the individuals in those clips. We can also use that to weigh in on the topic. Miss Monica greeting T. Blair greeting Miss Monica. Thanks so much. But I have a quick question for you. I'm going to type it in the chat for those who might be watching in future. And I want you to comment on that for me. All right, so I'm going to drop it in the chat before I repeat it. And so I can't talk and type at the same time, so that's why. Let me type it first, and then I read it out, okay? So, all right. If I start talking, if I say the question while I'm typing it, I'll type your foolishness. I must be getting old. All right. So this one is a question from the Bible. What was the age difference between Abraham and Sarah? And I want you to put your answers in the chat. I type it in the chat with my ninja, so to speak. This is my real face. Oh, all right. So you can put your answers in the chat from the Bible. What was the age difference between Abraham and Sarah? Please put your answers in the chat as the dialogue continues. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, so I'm waiting for you to put your answers in the chat. Remember also, you can continue to support. I'm not doing as much outreach as I used to, because I was back at work, but because of a traffic accident, I hadn't been to work in 3 months, and I'm only just now starting to do 2 shifts per week, as I see, how things build up. So you can still support us, though. I still, up to yesterday afternoon, we went out, two of us went out to feed the homeless. When I get my own transportation back, I pray by God's grace to do even more. The other lady just texted me since evening and told me that one of the homeless gentlemen we went to look for and couldn't find, that she was able to find him somewhere at a different location today. Praise God. So if you can still bless us, bless this channel through PayPal. All right. So put your answers in the chat regarding this question. Thank you so much, Miss Monica. So what was the age difference between Abraham and Sarah in the Bible? All right. I'm waiting for the answers. You can still bless this channel through my PayPal. The link is in the description of this video. If you click on the word more below the title of the video, then you'll see my links, all my links. Okay, so you can still bless this channel to PayPal. Yes, all right. So my PayPal is still active, although my monetization isn't. So yes, I was just enjoying the music. Welcome, welcome, Miss Mika, Miss Gay. I see you come back. I wanted to see the final look of the hair, so I know when I come down if I can ask Mika to do my hair. Because the best braids, if it's not those Africans like up in New York when you find those Africans, man. But the only thing I don't like is all three of them in your head one time and they tight. And ask if they, for the deep in your pocket, because them charge some big money. If you can't find a good African or a good Jamaican here, to me, it's best if you wait till you go down. When you go down, you get such good braiding. So I was hoping to see the outcome, Miss Gay. All right, guys. So the question is, what was the age difference between Abraham and Sarah in the Bible? Just drop that in the chat for me as the dialogue continues. Thanks for coming, Miss Gay. What was the age difference between Abraham and Sarah? Miss Monica, I thought you would put that answer a long time, You are the Bible scholar. You are the Bible scholar. What was the age difference? How young was Sarah? How much younger was Sarah than Abraham? Because the Bible, there are different couples in the Bible at different with different age groups, but I don't see where there isn't really anything mentioned about age, like what age you should be when you get married. And the culture, Israel culture, was such that women got married young. The men always tended to be a bit older, but I honestly don't see much account of anyone who with a wide age gap. I think maybe Boaz and Ruth. What Miss Monica laughing for? But you still don't put the age, the difference. What was the age difference? How much here? How many years older than Sarah was Abraham? Even if we don't remember their exact ages, the Bible mentioned their age when the angel visited and to tell him that they were gonna have a child. And I think the age is also mentioned when Ishmael was born, I think. But even if we don't remember the age, how much older? Put up a short with the fin. Okay, Miss Gay, I'm gonna look at it. I really want to see it. I think you're in Westmoreland, right? Oh no, that would be too far from me. Yes, right. So the other couple I can think of is Boaz and Ruth, and those seem to have a very wide age gap, because if Boaz was what to Naomi? I don't remember, but Boaz was a much older family member of Naomi, and Naomi was Ruth's mother-in-law, which suggests to me that okay, yeah, that far from him, my dear, unless me, like, if we go like Negrilla, so that's the only time, and his years, no, I'm not going to grill, maybe from 2018. That's the only time I come that side. But I always like to get my hair braided back home because it's the best, even more than the Africans. The Africans, to me, like they know some style, like the herringbone and the Ghana braid, and they have a style with thread. I don't know, Miss Gay and Miss Monica. I don't know if you do it back home, where they braid your hair with thread, with a thick thread, almost not like yarn, but like them thick thread. What shoemakers use to sew leather, they have a style that they do with that. I don't know if they do it back home. So to me, the Africans have a lot of, new styles and stuff that we're not really familiar with. But if you want like a good box braid, the best person is a Jamaican. Wait till you go Jamaica. Not a Jamaican abroad, but a Jamaican in Jamaica. Right. So welcome to everyone. India is in the building. Thanks for coming in, India. Good night, Simple and Chat. Thank you so much. Right. So from the mere fact that Naomi was Ruth's mother-in-law. Remember that she had two sons and they died. Ruth was the wife of one of her sons. And Boaz is an older family member of Naomi. So it would suggest to me then that when she said, told, when Naomi told Ruth to go look Boaz, basically, in Jamaican terms, that the age difference, the gap was really wide, right? But their ages aren't mentioned, but Sarah and Abraham's ages are mentioned. And I'm not fans of. So I heard you mention today on your live, Miss Gay, that you cut off your hair once. So what you basically just wear an afro, right? Is that it? And India, greeting Miss Monica. Watch my girl, India. So you basically wear afro. Right now, I don't know what to do with mine. I buy some ugly wigs from Timu, and I don't even really like them. But where I am, nobody no really. You can't really find a black hairstylist. Honestly, you hardly can find one. And people don't really kill up themselves over here, do in this area, really, honestly, because of old people area, and it's a very small area, and people don't know each other that well. People stay to themselves. So it's not like if it's not like church or so, or maybe if you work at Walmart, you might know a few people. Understand? So, but basically, I prefer to just keep the braids. I prefer to keep the braids. So, and I braid it myself. I'm not professional like that, but thank God I'm good enough that I can even do other people who own. Not once, 27 times. Okay. Wow. So many times. Oh, Lord. I cut off mine, I think, 2012, early 2012 first. And it grew and I cut it off again 2016 after they had killed my brother in Jamaica. A lot of things was going on. Sometimes when you're going through changes, you change something about yourself. And I find that a lot of women in particular cut their hair. It's just like a new to me, it's like a new beginning. All right. So I said I'm rocking my short hair, wear my wigs when I feel like. Yes, and they fit you. You see the thing with me because I don't wear jewelry and I'm not into much makeup, maybe just some foundation, a little eyeliner, a little lipstick or lip gloss. So and I do I will shave up my eyebrow and make it neat, but me no know over penciling and me no wear lashes and you understand? So the short hair no really fits, it not as pronounced as yours, MDI. It not fit me nice like yours. But what I used to do a lot was twist out, but my hair, a couple years ago I braid my hair and for some reason when I pull it out, it just thin out, thin out, thin out, and it couldn't do the twist out again because it wasn't full. And my niece told me to start using the castor oil, the Jamaica castor oil, and I started using it. But honestly, my hair was growing thicker and longer, but I didn't like the texture. Sorry. My hair is very thin, but I like the texture of my hair. It's just light and nice, but way too thin. But when I started using the castor oil, it was growing my hair, but it was changing the texture, and me not like the rough texture, so I did sort of stop. All right. So I think I saw the answer here. T Blair, you put something a while ago where this. Oh, okay. I do easy short here is easy for me. Yes, that's the thing with mine now. It's not short enough to just have a nice, like curly afro or something. And it's not thick enough to do the now that it's long, like about here, it's not thick enough to do the twist out and stuff. So I'm in between. So apart from these wigs, whenever I want a good hairstyle, I'll just braid it. So here's the answer now, guys. What was the age gap between Sarah and Abraham in the Bible? Thanks, T. Blair. So T. Blair said 90 and 100. So they were 10 years apart. So the Bible doesn't really mention anything about age gaps in that sort of sense, as if there's anything against it. So I wouldn't say there are any biblical rules, but we have to use wisdom. It's all about wisdom. If there, even in the secular world, we see from time to time, there was one young lady. Remember the girl the other day? I mean, I really mention social media or quote unquote celebrity name in my personal conversation, and definitely on my not on my platform. But remember, there was one young lady, the Jamaican girl with the in her 20s, with the and the man was what 60 odd, and then all of a sudden you hear say, "Oh, they break up this, that, that." I'm like, come on. So we have to look at things like that. As I mentioned earlier, the stage of life is also important. A 60-year-old is someone who has been around the sun so many times, while a 20-year-old is just, basically just somebody who your mother just wean, and you're just starting life. So in a case like that, and it can work. Everything is judged on an individual basis, guys. So if you're watching me in future, I'm not judging anybody. It can work, but for all intents and purposes, common sense can tell you, if at that age I'm not anywhere near to catching up with this person in terms of experience, and experience breeds wisdom. So yes, we might hit it off, we might have chemistry, we might, whatever. But how long will it last? And as I started off by saying, I don't wear these things, Miss Gay. I don't blame you here. Me no like them. You see all this now? But say, let me try a short one. Me no like it. Have a long one. Me no like it. Human hair. Me no like it. Synthetic. Me no like it. I just don't. But because of where I am, sometimes it's just good to just throw on something and do, and like keep a protective hairstyle and allow my hair to grow back. The wig fits is simple, try brown and black. No, this was on sale. This was on sale on Temu India, and it's human hair. And this is the 8 inch, 12, 18, 10, 12, 18, and 22. But this was the only color they had, and the only length. That's why. All right. So Livingston says 60. What? Wash, rinse, and ready to dry out, father, daughter. That is what I'm saying, Livingston. Obviously, I'm sure which man at 60, if he doesn't have a family, if he was never married or had any significant relationships, and he doesn't have kids, then I'm not judging the man. I'm not talking about that individual. I just mean in a general sense, something was wrong with him. So if I am 20 odd now and he expresses an interest in me, whether he's poor or he's rich, or I express an interest in him, something wrong. I must be after something. If he's rich, I must be after something. If he's poor, something must be wrong with me. You understand? But as I started out by saying, like within the church setting, men come in, men come to Christ at an older age, even if you're raised in the church. Females tend to stay more, like during high school, college, or where they start their lives, they tend to stay. The guys tend to go out and then they come back in. So they come back in generally after they have tried and they don't see what is out there. And they had many girls out there and they come back in. But when they're ready to get married, Livingston, they come right back in to look for a godly wife or a Christian wife. So for that reason, it tends to be that the 20-odd-year-old girls know when they're looking for a husband within the church setting, they're going to end up with guys who are like 10, most time like 10 years older. Hardly. The few guys who remain, you're going to find that they're already taken. And I'm talking from observation and to some extent by experience. I never married within the church. So that wasn't fully my experience. But I've had cases where like guys who come to church because I've met guys. I remember this one particular guy I met at a crusade once in Duane Park, and he was coming from some church way downtown way, him and him friends. And he directly told me, he started talking to me. I was in college at the time at what is now UTech. And he directly told me that he was there to look for a girl, to look for, a wife. He wanted a girl that he could date and seriously turn into courtship and marriage. So they'll directly tell you that. So the few guys who remain are already taken. So for that reason, we tend to find that within the church there's an age gap. If the guys who stay, if they don't get married, if the girls don't get married to those guys who stay within their 20s, it's gonna end up. And I'm sure you might experience that in your church too, if you're a church person. It's gonna end up that there's gonna be a wide age gap. I agree with you, Livingston. Of course, it was 60 odd and 20 odd. I was like, and from what I understand, she got very bitter when people commented on IG, TikTok, whatever, wherever social media people are just gonna say what's on their mind. People can be very mean, and she would get upset whenever people commented on that. All right, so I'm gonna share. Okay, so the age gap between Abraham and Sarah was 10 years old. So I'm gonna go to my first video clip, and this one is to back up what I said about the factors that affect the age gap. The first one being the stage of life that you no sorry the first one being the age group that you are in, right? When you're younger, in your teens or early 20s, the age gap makes a much bigger difference than when you're older. So let me go over to this first video clip, and this one is from Judge Mathis. All right, just a few seconds long. So take a look at this, guys.
Let's get started with it.
Well, we got married at a very young age, at 14 and 19.
14, and he was 19?
Yes, sir.
That was illegal.
Well, not in Kentucky. Not in Kentucky.
Okay, so Judge Mathis is just gonna say what's on his mind. He's like, that's illegal. Let me see what India says here. I think age range become a problem and it's over 10 years for most couples. That is so true. The wider the gap, the bigger the problem. All right. So I'm gonna pick up on that point in a bit, India. All right. So based on this video clip that I just played, 14 and 19, Judge Mathis is like 14 and 19, that's illegal. The girl said that's in Kentucky. So I don't know the law in different states. If you're watching from outside of the US, guys, in this country, you have state laws and you have federal laws. Federal laws govern the entire country. So those federal laws, every state have to abide by. But at the same time, there are some laws that are specific to your state. So marriage, for instance, well, let's say you live in New York, the laws governing marriage are not necessarily the same as the laws governing marriage in North Carolina or California, all right, that sort of thing. So that's in Jamaica. I think if you're not 18, you have to get your parents' consent. Miss Monica, if you're there, somebody let me know. Let me know what it is. Right. So 14 and 19, that's only 5 years apart. But although they're teenagers, you must admit that a 14-year-old is nowhere as matured as a 19. A 14-year-old girl is nowhere as matured as a 19-year-old guy, right? When they get a little bit older, that 5 years might not make a difference. Even when they're 20 and 25, it might not make a difference. So that's why I said the age that the couple is makes a difference. Finding the truth, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Finding the truth is in the house. How are you doing? Finding the truth, let me know. I'm gonna ask you something. If you have my contacts, reach out to me and let me know. Because I'm no longer monetized. And I still, when I go to my studio, I still see a list of members. So please, I need to know from you guys. I've asked a few others whether they're still taking from you. Okay? I need to know that because they're not supposed to be doing it. So if you can reach out to me on IG, please let me know. Just send me a message on IG and let me know whether they're still okay. You can reach me here. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in. All right. Paul is in the building. Ciao, Bello. ¿Cómo está, mi amor? Well, me mix Italian and Spanish together because me no know Italian. Welcome, Paul Paul. All right, so let me go back over here and say, in India said, I think Adrian becomes a problem when it's over 10 years. Okay. Oh, Judge White is your husband. Love him and Judge Judy. I used to watch them every day, but honestly, I don't watch television that much anymore. All right, so welcome, Finding the Truth. I be- don't believe her. That must be an old law. She didn't know that law changed. I don't know. Because I honestly don't even. Let me see. She said Kentucky, right? Let me see. What is the age of consent in Kentucky? Let me just. Let me just Google that because I really don't know. I don't know what's the federal age. 16 years old. All right. So if 16 years old is the age of consent in Kentucky, then that means she couldn't get married at 14 without her parents' consent. Or legally, she just couldn't get married at 14. I think that's how it is. So she didn't know. I think Judge Mattis went on in the video. I didn't want to make the clip too long to state. That's why he said it's illegal. And he went on to state that the law changed. So welcome, Paul Paul. Hey, India, stay motivated, Murray. Paul Paul, healing of everybody. I'm doing good, thank you, lady. What about you? 18. All right. So 18 is the age to get married, finding the truth in Jamaica. But I think the age of consent is 16, meaning you can consent to sex. Is it 16, right? But to get married, you have to be 18. If you're under 18, you need your parents' consent, right? In Jamaica. We Unlock is in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll try to join you when I'm through here. Okay, We Unlock. Thanks for coming. All right. So as India said, maybe she didn't know that the law changed. At times, those who grew up together in the church see themselves as brothers and sisters and tend to look to other sources for partner. That's true. That's true. That's true. Well, Livingston and I grew up in the same church. So, and I know for a fact that he was like a big brother to us. I always say it. I always say it even on Facebook when we meet in like commenting on Facebook. He treated us like we were his younger sisters, unlike some people would still be, you know, trying to court you and look you in Jamaica would say we Unlock Nation. But Livingston treated us younger ones like we were his younger sisters. And to be honest, when you say that, judging from experience, our own experience growing up in the same church, honestly, if like somebody like Livingston had shown an interest in me, it would have been like, no, you're mad, you're like my brother. You understand you're a big brother. It wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't feel right. All right. So Paul, you're not glad to me okay too. It's only India you're glad to she okay. Noted negative. Okay, thank you so much. I was wondering because I still have you guys listed as members. I'm so glad you're doing well. Nation is in the building. Welcome, welcome, Green Nation. Thanks so much for coming. And Green Nation, blessing up everybody. Thanks for coming in, guys. Let me just go through the comments and then I continue with the discussion. All is too old for what? Well, Popo, you see, if you'd wake up out of your bed earlier and come catch the first part, you'd have realized, okay, this show is about the relationships, courtship, and marriage. All right, particularly in the church setting, Popo. So we all is too old for dating, for relationships or a marriage. You know, what's the age gap? Does the age gap make a difference? Okay, Popo, that's what we're talking about. Ship me my Nike. Okay, so some personal conversation going on here, which I'm not privy to. So let me stay out of that, stay out of grown folks' business. See that them two lie. 14 years old is a little child. That is it. So that means the girl, just as you said, I don't think that could have ever been the law. Honestly, there must be a federal law outlawing a 14-year-old getting married. So but I didn't watch the entire video. I just took that clip out, so I don't know. Miss Gay, blessing of Green Nation and Nation responding to everybody. Thank you so much. Popo, him circle on my live a few weeks ago in Green Nation. I was surprised. He's still around, man, still there on Green Boss. So I was looking for Orange to change my thing, because after what happened last week. Guys, if you're watching this in future, I understand this is a live stream. There are really no parameters except the parameters that are set by YT. And for me, there are some parameters that are set based on godly standards. But in terms of where your discussion goes, it can go anywhere. And as I say, Green Nation come in. Let me just read this before I make that comment. Green Nation, I know, right? A lot of Jamaican YouTubers have not live streamed like few time ago, so we don't see like a long time ago, see each other often. But I'm good, thank you, bro. What about you? All is well. You're so elegant today. I like your style. Congrats. Thanks, Powell. I don't like the hair, but thanks. I'm okay. I was off for Whitey for a while. Yes, that's the thing. Popo, a lot of us after the pandemic, most of us were here because of the pandemic. Most of us started our channel as size 12. I wonder what's another bit about. Anyway, right? So after the pandemic, most people went back to work. Some people, they had 2 or 3 years to think about changing their career path or starting something new. Some people started doing courses or going back to school or something. So that was the case. Why a lot of us haven't been on Pow. For me, until I started this series, this is the fourth. I started in February. I hadn't done a live stream in over a year and a half. And then I had an accident. I was out of it for a while. So I did want to build back my community. Also, I lost my monetization. So I'm trying to build back my WH. Okay. That's great, my brother. Bring up yourself. Your hairstyle is good. Don't worry, lady. You are elegant. Well, praise God. Don't make everyone know, but I passed 12 already. What's going over here? So I don't know what's going on. And even my wife said you are getting taller. I didn't know you could grow at this. I didn't know. I didn't know people still grow at this age. Green Nation. All right, so guys, before we continue that discussion, since it's a Green Nation, I don't know, somebody can tell me who win the election. What really going on in Jamaica? I said Jamaica is not a real place. I don't come over here to talk politics, but really this one had me interested all week from Monday night right back till now. I've never seen something like this in all my life. And I'm thinking, if it was general elections, would we still be a whole week? Tomorrow is going to be a whole week tomorrow, right? Yeah, it's going to be a whole week. We don't know who is the prime minister. I'm like, who win? This party saying they win, the other party saying they have won. I mean, when they were making Portmore a municipality, didn't they envision that something like this could end up happening? I mean, everybody was so eager. Yeah, man, we want Portmore must turn city. Portmore must this port. Now they make it a municipality. So I'm wondering if one party had won in St. Catherine and the other in Portmore, would it have affected the outcome? I mean, there are so many questions. You're watching the thing and the map is orange all over and right before your eyes. Parishes start change to green. Even parishes that were already declared. It's like, boy, Green Nation, me no know what I go on with your people them down there, but trust me. All right, let me. Enough love, my general from Po. Mr. Po. Them not care you go Jamaica yet, Po. They said no one win. But somebody have to win. So what they're going to do, they're going to have a, what it name again, like Trinidad had a few decades ago? What it name when two both parties win? And they have to share leadership. Don't grow anymore. Normally, general election call before, look, that is it. So I don't know what this, You surprised me in a Green Nation. Because from a city, your name like this, I swear. I swear that your name and your color was significant politically. So this is very surprising, right? No. Ooh, I don't know what is going on, my dear, but I'm not gonna blame it on one person or on either person's. Jamaica, some sort of portal must have been opened up. Somebody do something and mess with rub the devil the right way, and him just release, like, Pandora's box. Him just release him demons them and something wrong. Okay. So right, simple. Even now that sister brother bond is still tied. Yes, it is Livingston. And I respect you so much for that. And I respect my other church brothers who had that sort of respect, especially for us younger girls in the church. Because so very often things go wrong because the older guys don't respect the fact that they are there as old. We look up to them. The girls are supposed to look up to them as older brothers, especially those who don't have siblings at home. You understand? But big up unlock from Nation. A Nation, a big up there. Strange things is happening, my friend. I thought it was a bet. I thought that size 12 sneakers had something to do with the election. I said maybe the tone or the bet who going to win. This election was heated. You would think it's general election. Honestly, I am not a politics person, but if I'm gonna go for any politics at all, it's gonna be Jamaica politics, not politics. I don't like Jamaica politics. Jamaica election. I'm not interested in US politics any at all. I don't discuss it. I don't talk about it. I don't call certain names in my mouth. The only thing I know about US politics is from a biblical point of view. And yes, when you study the books of Daniel and Revelation, you can see how the US will figure or is figuring in Bible prophecy. So that's as much as I know. And the little I know about America's history in terms of politics is from studying Bible prophecy. All right. But this local government election that Jamaica just had, it was so vibrant. The campaigning was so vibrant, and you think, yes, finally, orange and green will come together in love. And then all of this thing happened. I saw one lady, I don't even remember which parish, Chang, I think she named, complaining how some of her campaigners were SHOT and this, that, and she freed for her life. And they're like, oh my Lord. Then if it was general elections, what would have happened? I thought everything was, the camaraderie was so great and people were just coming together. All of a sudden, I'm learning petrol, but I still need to master it. Stick with us some more, okay? Simple. This is green. This green have nothing to do with politics. They are green, and I am the Green Nation. One green. Okay, sir. All right, come on, simple. I come into Jamaica soon. But it's in there. No, it was on my live. I distinctly remember almost 2 years ago. We unlocked on my live that you promised. It was India, I think you had promised. Wasn't it India you promised that you would go to Jamaica? Popo, your master is doing very good. Trust me. Yes, guys. So that's the thing. So as with that clip, no, the age does make a difference. The age does make a difference. All right. The age gap makes a difference, and the age makes a difference also when they're that young. Okay, I'm gonna show you another clip now, and this one is coming out of Africa this time. This is a YouTuber that I say I've been watching because she does like loyalty tests and that sort of thing. Real videos, real people, real, not just true to life, but true, right? And this one is one where the age gap is even much wider. So I'm going to show that one and you give me your feedback. Let's hop over to this one. Okay. All righty. So take a look at this, guys, and give me your feedback in the chat.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please, I beg everyone to help me out because since I'm 40 years, my mom have given me to one old man to marry. They see my baby at my age. I've been born this baby. Now I'm 18 years. I'm supposed to go back to school because I like to go to school. Because my mommy love money. Because my mommy sold me to old man. And please, anything I say, I beg.
Okay, I don't know whether you understood everything she said. I'm gonna run it again so you can pick up what she said. All right, listen carefully again. Let me run it again because maybe the accent might make a difference in as to whether you understood clearly what she said. Welcome again, everyone. If you just came in, remember to give a thumbs up over here. This show is called Your Heart's Desire Show. This is where single, godly, Christian-minded people can connect. If you're interested in meeting a member of the opposite sex, you can connect with each other, even if it's just for, for social reasons, for talking and that's communicating, that sort of thing. But who knows, it can lead to courtship and marriage. So you can reach out to me if that is your desire. My links are in the description below this video. If you're watching in future, just click on the word more below the video and you will see my links. On Facebook, it's the same, Simple Things Outreach Media. And on Instagram, you can reach out to me right here. Okay, if you're in the background and you're new here, please click on the word SUBSCRIBE. Some things we can't say clearly. We have to code them because of the platform. So click on that and connect with me, okay? I have a lot of videos on my platform, a lot of live stream regarding health, Bible studies, prophecy, education, outreach, Jamaica life, so many things. All right. So I'm going to run that clip one more time and you let me know whether you pick up what she's saying regarding the age gap and the predicament that this young lady find herself in. As I said, this is coming out of Nigeria. Real Zitachi, that's the name of the YouTuber. I've been following her for the past few months and I find her content very interesting. So let's run this clip one more time.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please, I beg everyone to help me out because since I'm 40 years, my mom have given me to one old man to marry. They see my baby at my age. I've been born this baby. Now I'm 18 years. I'm supposed to go back to school because I like to go to school. Because my mommy love money. Because my mommy sold me to old man. And please, anything I say, I beg.
Okay, so what she's saying, if you're not picking up her welcome, Juba. Welcome back, Juba. How you doing? Welcome. This is devastating, Miss Gacy. Exactly. So for you, those of you who watch Nigerian movies, you would pick up the accent very well. Let me see what nation say here about the election. People must vote for prosperity and growth, and not because you like or love particular party. But you know that is Jamaica's political culture. Because our great grandfather was green or our great grandfather was orange, it doesn't matter what the person is doing or not doing in the community. That's who we vote for. We need to change that. All right. Yeah, we unlock. So in some African cultures, when you're interested in someone, you have to meet with their parents and pay the bride price, right? In order to get that person as your wife. If, for example, let's say the lady cannot produce a child, or something goes wrong, something that you didn't bargain for, God forbid. I don't want to put it this way, but it's almost as if you can care about the goods like you buy it at the market, so you can care about the lady and get back your money, which is sad, but that's culture. I'm just putting it in Jamaican terms, so I might be misrepresenting, which is not my desire. That's not my aim, to misrepresent, because I do respect everyone's culture and I do deeply respect everyone's religion. So here it is, it's a 14-year-old girl who her mother, in this case, practically sold because it was against her will. All right. You know, they have arranged marriages like in some African cultures, in some parts of India and other places. All right. So in this case, as the young girl is saying, it's practically like her mother sold her, because when you watch the full video, you'll see that the family wasn't doing too well. So it's because the mother really needed money. Right. So she practically sold her at 14. And I'm not even going to tell you the age of the man yet. So let me know what you think in the chat now in terms of relationship and marriage. 14. The lady earlier said she got the one from that the clip from Judge Mattis. She got married at 14 to a 19-year-old, but obviously there was mutual consent. In this case, it's more like selling or forcing against the young girl's will. Now she's 18 and she's the mother of that baby she's holding. I'm not going to tell her the age of the young man yet. Not even a young man, an old man. You heard I said to one young old man. So what a wahala. So let me know what you think. And then when I drop the other clip, then you'll see the age. So let me just go into the chat. Juba, welcome again. Everybody welcome in. Juba. Yeah, we in Lock Nation say, woo, from 14 years old, no. Yes, devastating. Culture can destroy lives. You know, very often I comment on their videos and there, I get a lot of bashing, even on IG. I do get a lot of bashing because I'm trying to respect everyone's culture. But I do believe, even with Christianity, I'm a Christian, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. But if there is something in my practice, in my religious practice, that goes against God's will, is destroying, as you said, destroying lives, destroying my life and the lives of others and that sort of thing, then obviously I'm gonna have to go revisit that and say, is this really right? Is this really what God wants, sort of thing? So sometimes we have to think about that culture aside. We have to stop and think, 14, you understand, against her will, for money, that sort of thing. Nation Mapatwa, chaka chaka. Popo, if you know words like chaka chaka, believe me, you're an expert at the language. How many young people today, even in Jamaica, would understand what chaka chaka means? I hope you understand what it means, Popo, because it can mean more than one thing. Chaka chaka sort of mean all over the place, but at the same time, there's a dialect of Patwa that we call chaka chaka. Okay, so I don't know if you mean that you talk the Chaka Chaka dialect, or you mean that your patois is all over the place and in no organized fashion, no particular order. Juba says, I hope everyone is doing great. One love, guys. God bless you all. Hey, Juba. What the hell people doing getting married at that tender age? But unlock, there are cultures like in India where it's okay from 12, 12 and 14. There are tribes in some parts of Africa right now where I think they go as low as 12, right? So we in the West, we look at it that way because we are exposed to, for one thing, I'd say there's more education in the West. And when I say in the West, guys, I'm not talking just North America, all right? And also there is more freedom of choice. In some cultures, some Middle Eastern and Eastern cultures, and some African cultures, especially females, don't have that much freedom of choice. When you go back in ancient history, you know that there were some countries and some cultures where the females were not even allowed to go to school because they were supposed to be the child bearers, they were supposed to be the caretakers of the men and that sort of thing. So they weren't even sent to school. They had to stay home and do all of that while the men were sent to school. There are still cultures now in Africa where if you could have 50, 11 teen picnic if you don't produce a boy, the man don't want you and go and carry it back to your mother and get or your parents and get back in bride price because the a male child is so much more important than a female child. I don't know if that is practiced like in Asia as well, but I know that in some African countries, sometimes a man nation say sometimes a man will go ask a couple for their child, and that child will be 9 years exactly 9 years old, and that man will be like 50, and at 12 that girl have to go live with him. The man will give the parents like 5 cows exactly, and it happens in Middle Eastern countries as well. So it's not just Africa. We're not bashing Africa or any nation. We're just trying to expose ourselves to different cultures in terms of the topic. And Paul will say, I think shaka shaka means that it is a mess. Yes, that's what I say when I say, it's not in any order, it's a mess. Okay. Oh my, we unlock nation say. Okay, so I'm gonna drop the next clip. I'm gonna show the next clip, and then I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to come up. There says, Nation, sometimes we look back at life in Jamaica and we think it was really hard, but thank God we didn't go through arranged marriage. That's child abuse in a real life. Once in there, and I'm gonna say this here, and I know even you guys here, my YT family who is listening to me, you're not gonna like what I said. But I remember I was watching one of these real shows sometimes ago, and I made the comment, thank God my forefathers came on the slave ship, and I got such a bashing. But when I thought of the atrocities that that show was exposing, and I said, oh my Lord, I know that in the West, nobody would want me to hear me say something like that because of this using the whole slavery thing. But I'm like, oh, thank God my foreparents came to this side because I couldn't imagine that in so Africa is perhaps the richest nation. It's like the seat, the cradle of humanity, everything. I couldn't believe that there were still tribes, there were still cultures that were practicing such atrocities against humanity. I don't even remember exactly what it was, but that's not the point of this live stream. So if you're watching me in future, you feel free to disagree. But I'm like, I was so moved to make that comment based on the content of that show that video I was watching. Okay, I'll join you in a bit. Okay, we unlock. Thanks so much for coming. I don't have 5 course to exchange with a woman to marry, but he's a Jamaican wife. He said he won't popo, so you don't need no 5 course. It's a Jamaican woman you want. Just make sure you just make sure you're honest, and make sure you can you know if you're not honest, and if you're a cheater, be prepared for what you get. Make sure you head upon your body, because Jamaican women are very wise. All right, I won't go too far into that, but just make sure you head upon your body. Okay. Yeah. So true in there. Lady D is in the building. Welcome, 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 and congrats to your daughter on her graduation, and congrats to the young lady from your church who got married. I don't remember the name. The name. All right, Papa, what you laughing at? Yes, Africa, but some countries have sanctions on them, and only those countries Africa can sell their products, and it's for a very, very low price. The thing is, to go into this Africa thing just a bit, the way I see it from the little history. So if anybody watches this in future, don't come bash me. I don't know everything, neither do I purport to. None of us know everything. But from the little African history that I know, and from the many Africans I know in person in New York, when I was in New York, Europeans really, the rest of the world really rob Africa. And part of the thing is the tribalism. If we can live as one, then of course the other man is always going to be able to come in and rob us. You understand? If we, I don't know how the tribalism started. I don't know who really put each tribe against each other to that extent. And that's how the white man, the European, was able to come in and trick them out of house and land. Well, on a house and land, trick them out of them gold and them diamonds, and trick them out of their family members and take them to the West to enslave them to make the Europeans rich. You understand? If the way I see it from the little history I know, if they were cooperating as one, it wouldn't have been so easy. For when you think of countries like South Africa, Angola, and those countries where England went in, you think of like Zaire, now called Congo, and those places. England went in, France went in. I think Spain and Portugal went in. Later on, you had others like the I don't know if the Italians and so ever went in. But how can you see ships sailing from across the ocean where you don't know, and strangers that don't look like you step out, and people who don't know your language, you can't communicate with language, you just have to use gestures and body language. And instead, and at what point did they allow them to really take over to that extent? Man, Africa is rich, Africa is wealthy, Africa is creative, Africa has talent, there's singing and all of that, there's sports and all of that. But it's just sad. But anyway, a two-time no Green Nation carry me off my topic, and carry me away with election, and now carry me away with Africa. Sure. Ines is in the building, and go back, guys, and watch the second installment in this series where Ines was up here with me. And I guess on my screen, that one was very interesting. Blessings, Ines, blessings, blessings, blessings. This evening we're looking at age gap, age difference. All right, Lady D, blessings again. Thanks for coming. Everybody bigging up Lady D. And let me see what else I miss. Everybody bigging up Ines. Thanks, Simple. Yes, Lady D, my dear. I'm not much on the platform, guys, but from time to time I do follow up with your videos. Most of us not posting like before. Is the day nation says is the days the English went to Africa to get people to work, and the kings of the villages of Africa sell their people to the Englishmen. I couldn't believe it that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, nation. I remember I was on somebody's live. It's a sad situation, simply, even though they are not united. None at all. I was on somebody's live. I'm not gonna mention her name right now. And she was doing something about the similar thing about the whole African slave trade thing. I guess she was at UWE at the time. So she brought her guest was her professor, apparently her history professor. So she brought her history professor. The topic was very interesting to me. This was years ago when, all of us was very active on the platform. So I joined the live. I normally go on her live in the evenings because I found her live very interesting. She and Lady D used to go live just about the same time. So I used to hop back and forth between the two of them. So she brought her a professor, university professor, of course. Him go and like him know everything. And he was giving his presentation, and I made a comment in the chat, Green Nation, about what you said. Right? And I said, when you read some of the history books, right? This man, I can't remember his name right now. I use his history book when I was at UWE as well. And when you learned that it was it was tribal war, whether the Europeans put the tribe against each other, I don't know. That really actually went after each other and sometimes captured their own black brothers and sisters and sold them to the white man, to the Europeans. I don't want to use certain terms because I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just sharing what I learned from the history books. If my sister is watching, I don't know if she's watching me, remind me of the name of Walter Rodney, Sir Walter Rodney, a West Indian historian. He wrote a lot of the history books we use at high school and at university back home and across the Caribbean. And he stayed in Africa for years and did his own research in order to write his books. And it was from his book that I learned that. And I'm like, oh my Lord. for trinkets and gunpowder and this, that, and sold their own blood. So people make it seem like it's just the European that just marched in and think of it and went into all those jungles and fought off the lions and the cougars and whatever to capture people and bring them, go put them on the ship. No. When I read Walter Rodney book, it opened my eyes. I was shocked when I learned that they themselves were actually capturing each other, their other tribes, opposing tribes, and they held them till when the ships came, and then they sold them to the Europeans, and then the Europeans, like in Ghana, that you have that place where Shabba Rankins visited. Anybody remember the name? It is like a holding area, and where Shabba Rankins did a tour, and he said he cried when he went there and saw where they were holding our own black brothers and sisters. Then the Europeans would keep them there until when the ships came to, they knew what they were selling them into, because some of the chiefs of some of these tribes actually came across the Atlantic, what we call the Middle Passage, on some of these slave ships with them, and came over to the Caribbean and saw what their own black brothers and sisters were coming here to do and how they were treated. But because of money, because of trinkets and gunpowder and whatever else, they still went back across that Middle Passage back to Africa and continued capturing their own black brothers and sisters and selling them to the Europeans just for money. So the whole thing about robbing the wealth out of Africa goes way back, even from before that. You understand? But this is not a history class, and I don't want anybody to watch this in future and say, how could a black person be talking like that? I'm just sharing. If I'm wrong, don't blame me. Blame Walter Rodney and the other historians who stayed in Africa and did their research, did their deep studies, stayed there for years, and wrote these books. Okay? So Green Nation, don't take me off topic again. Lady D Love. It's a sad situation, simple. Even though they are not united. Exactly. Even though I know a lot of Nigerians, even though Africans, I mean, Ghanaians, I fight with Nigerians. And when I say fight, I don't mean, you understand, fist to fist. I mean at odds with Nigerians look down on Ghanaians. Muslims and Christians literally at fight sometimes, wiping out each other and all that sort of thing. Did you all know if you're in Kenya and want to go to Ghana, you would need a visa, and it's one country? Well, it's not one country, nation. It's one continent, but it's a different country. Kenya is in East Africa, and Ghana is in West Africa. Right? Africa needs to unite. Okay. But you remember a burning spear, Africans unite. Na 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 na. You remember some of those reggae songs? Because a lot of our reggae singers were aware of this situation, and a lot of the songs that they sang was also to encourage unity amongst the African nations. There's none when you watch even some of these Nigerian movies that we like to watch. It will show you Yoruba a fight against Igbo. Yoruba can marry Igbo can marry this other tribe, that sort of thing. You understand? Better than that, most African living here need visa to go back to their place of birth. Are you serious? I didn't even know that. Did you all know Africa wasn't the original name for the country? Yes. I don't recall what I was watching. I don't remember the name, but if you have it, you can put it in the chat. Juba Blessing Up Nation. Who remembers the movie Hotel Rwanda? My dear, that whole Rwanda thing was with the genocide in Rwanda. That was a mess. And you know the worst part of it? When that whole genocide, when they were wiping out, is what the Hutsi, what the name Hutsi and Tutsi, the two tribes wiping out each other. And the funny thing is, as a Seventh-day Adventist, I'm ashamed to say that the pastor man in one of these villages who told the people to come into the church for safety. Of course, if anything going on, you'd think that the church is safe. It was a Seventh-day Adventist pastor, and he well knew that the other tribe was going to come to wipe out the people. And up to now, they still have, I don't know now, but up to before the pandemic, they still had the skulls and the bones. It's like a historic site or whatever you'd call it, an attraction. They still have the skulls and the bones in the church where the other tribe came down, and he was imprisoned, and his son, and the son was released a few years ago because there were some Adventists, so we know about them in our church literature and so. But I think the father is serving life. I don't remember. So if I'm wrong, as I always say on this platform, I don't know everything. If I'm wrong, if you watch this video after, you can comment in the comment section under the video to let me know if I was wrong. Okay? But that was terrible in there. And this wasn't slavery days. This was just a few decades ago. But here sharing this truth simple. Well, in there, some people don't really, there are some truths that are, what you'd call it, tragic truths that some people would rather you not say. And especially us of certain color on public platforms, public forums like this, is like you're not supposed to say certain truths if it's negative against your own people of your own color. You know that. We're Jamaican, we're not afraid to tell truth. To a Jamaican, truth is just truth. It no matter your religion, your politics, your color, your money, or nothing. But especially in this country, certainly, you know India, you live here, so you know how it go. You know all the things set, my dear. Continent, thanks for the correction. Yes, nation, one continent but different country. One is on the east and one is on the west. And there, I don't know if I watched that movie. You should look it up. You should look it up. It's very recent. It's just a few decades ago, and I think it's a good. You would like it. Someone like you would love it. It's very informative. The idea of tribalism. Welcome, Patricia. Thank you so much for dropping in. I was asking if you're watching earlier because what did I say? Oh, when I was trying to remember Walter Rodney's name, but I remember afterward. I was asking if you're there, you could put it. The idea of tribalism has such negative connotation that the history books now use the term lineage. Here is a history teacher, someone who has taught history in so many countries, in Jamaica, in Grand Turks, in England, and in the USA. So it's the first I'm hearing that one. It's not is lineage group. Okay. You see the way we suffer things nowadays? Simple. Let me listen now so you won't say I'm taking you off topic. No, nation, I'm good. It's a little bit of everything, because we learn from each other and we educating each other. Enough love, Juba. Juba said, really, you better believe it. They don't want us to be educated about the truth. That's the thing, because even since the pandemic and the last general elections here, they're wiping out a lot of things out of their history book, a lot of their history. Remember, they were, Patricia, could you put it in the chat what it's called again? What's the term for it? Like when they were cutting down certain statues and removing certain things from their history? It's like they're rewriting their history. You understand? But even us as Jamaicans in a nation, because look how them the teacher at school say the original inhabitants of Jamaica was Arawaks. And just the other day, now your ear say on Arawak a Taino. So who was it really? Arawaks or Tainos? Who were they? You understand? So many things, so many things. Anyway, guys. All right. So I'm gonna drop the link. And if anyone wanna come up and join the discussion, remember, guys, we're looking at the age gap and the difference it makes. Does it make a difference? So I have one more one more clip to share. But before I share that last clip, remember the clip we watched just now? The girl is 14 and her mother, quote unquote, sold her to one old man, as she put it. All right, because the woman was poor. So it's more like an arranged marriage in that sense. The child doesn't have a choice. As long as the parents arrange it, they have to agree to it. You understand? Let me pin this link, right? So that's what we were looking at. And what is going on here? Replace pin link. Right? That's what we're looking at. So the other clip, in the other clip, you're going to see the age of the man and you're going to be so shocked. All right. So, but before I go to that clip, for those of you, let me know. Give me some of your personal feedback now. What about, does the age gap matter to you? What age is too old or too young? At your age, would you say marry someone over 10 years older than you or not? Does it matter or not? And if you're in a marriage where or a relationship where one party is much older, you could let me know what the age gap is. All right. Also, within the church, for instance, we find that a lot of times when women reach a certain age, and you say your time clock is clicking, like it's like that there you feel this sort of pressure on you to get married. So even if it's one old man, so as the girl said, even if it's one old man, like people would be pressuring you to marry as somebody at a certain age. Critical race theory. Yes, that's it. Critical race theory. Thanks so much, Patricia. So that's what they're doing here in this country, especially since the pandemic and the last general elections, because there are some things that were too negative. You remember some times ago when the Roman Church, when the Pope was apologizing for like slavery and the atrocities against priests, against young boys, and that sort of thing. So they apologized and they confessed and they asked for forgiveness. They asked the world, so to speak, to forgive them. Well, it's similar in a sense. Here, they don't want certain things to remain, certain things to mar their history any longer. So they're trying to cut certain things out. So Patricia said critical race theory. All right, guys. So at this point now, you can share your experience in the chat, or if you want to come on screen. Is there a wide age difference in your own situation, your own experience? If so, how wide is it? How wide is wide for you? I remember when I just moved down here, I remember my brother said to me that he was introducing me to somebody. I have to laugh. I wish he was here to hear this though. He wanted to introduce me to this guy. So I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm not really interested because if you know me, I have to know somebody. I observe them over time and see, let them prove who they are. Because if you're gonna introduce somebody to somebody, the person is gonna want to put on a show. You understand? And that's not really who they are. So at the time, that's what 2024. I came 2016. That's so long down here. That's 8 years ago. 8 years ago. How old was I? I don't know my age. I hide my age. 8 years ago, I came to man, 47. When I was currently person, how much is a 65? He was a 65. I'm like, you must be crazy. You must be crazy. This is where, okay, and there's, okay. All right, I'm going to come back to the comments. Let me just share my experience. And then I share the last clip regarding the 14-year-old girl. So the thing with me is I'm the youngest, so I have older brothers. And my older brothers, especially my oldest brother, was always, I saw him as such a grown man. We used to call him brother. We call the oldest sister. In Jamaica, in some villages, some communities, even cousins. If your cousin is like older than you have to call them cousin Juba, cousin Dia. You understand? That sort of thing. In Africa, if your sister is older than you and is married or have children, you can't just call them sister anymore. You have to call them auntie. That sort of thing. So it's a sign of respect with age. So like my oldest brother is what? 16 years older than me. So even his friends, where I saw them as grown men. See, you can imagine. So I grew up with that whole thing that men who were older were just not in my age group at all, not in my category. Them a big man. I saw them as big men. I treated them as such. And thank God I was from an era where they treated me with that respect as well. So when I said 47, my brother got to about 65, they say you must be mad. What on earth would I be interested in somebody that old? But as we were talking about the 25-year-old and the 60-year-old, that social media figure, I don't remember her name. Her name is not important really because it's not about her. But as we were talking about them, for examples, for some people, that's okay. So if it's okay with you, then that's fine with me. But that's not for me. I have like relatives who talk with two or are married to older men, like 10 years or more apart. But that's not me. Nation say, where did I say nation? Wait 1 second. Let me go up here. I think I missed a few things. Nation India say thanks, Patricia. Okay. And Nation say there's so much about Jamaica because most of them say they are Maroons. Yes, but the Maroons now are what we call runaway slaves. And then they went up into the mountains to live. So the Maroon is really not a tribe or a race. But what we were hearing that the Arawaks was the native people in Jamaica. You know, you hear about the Caribs and the Arawaks. But no, we're hearing, I know there are the Tainos were in some of the smaller islands. I think like Curacao or something. But no, we're hearing that over the past decade or more, I've come to hear now that the historians say it was Tainos that were in Jamaica. Or I don't know if Tainos are Arawaks. I don't know, Patricia, if you're there, you can put that in the chat for me as well. Okay, no. So coming back to the topic, that's enough of history right now. Okay, so Nation say he rather older woman. All right, and they say over 10 years is too much in her opinion. Okay, for me, honestly, you might find it strange, and I used to say I'm a cougar at heart because I'd rather go younger. It would be much easier for me to go 10 years younger than 10 years older, honestly. At heart, I'm not an old woman. I don't see myself, even in my own family setting. My kids have to remind me so many times, Mom, you're embarrassing me, whatever, whatever. Because I'm the one who would like high five in their friends, even though the little kids at church or whatever, that's other thing. I'm not the type of person who ready to sit down in a rocking chair by the time you reach 50 and watch the grandkids play. No, I will forever. Forever young. I want to be forever young. Right, Nation? Do you really want to live forever? Forever and ever. And that's a secular song, but when we go to heaven, we're not going to grow old. So we're going to be forever young. Forever young. I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever, forever, and ever young? Right? So that's me. I'm not an old person at heart. Green Nation, I don't see myself pushing an old man in a wheelchair. Only my daddy used to push in a wheelchair. And my dad was 42 years older than me. So, when you want to run up and down and play ball and race and chase the dog or the grandkid, the person have to sit down in a wheelchair. No, sir. And there, that's not me. So the link is pinned, guys. If anybody want to join me on screen to share their experience or their thoughts on the topic, feel free to do so. If you want to call in, I can put a number in the chat where you can call on WhatsApp. And if you're interested in meeting someone of the opposite sex, a godly person, someone in the church. And when I say church, I don't mean that makes you hold in God's eye, but someone who's Christian minded and Christ like, you can reach out to me on IG or on Facebook. Simple Things Outreach Media. Let me see what Nation says here. Once I dated a woman was 19. Let me drink water. Drink water and mind my business. Drink water. That call for more water. A new bottle of water. Let me watch that one down, Nation, before we can continue reading. Whoo, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Out. 5. In. Hold it. Out. Whew, okay, now let's come back to this. Back to life, back to reality. Once I dated a woman who was 19 years older than me, and we had a lovely relationship. But after a while, she told me she can't have kids. We broke up peacefully and maintained good friendship for years. Well, that's good of both of you that you broke up peacefully for one. No one was disrespected or anything. No one made each other feel uncomfortable. But then, Nation, I'm going to ask you a personal question. And Miss Nation, Green Nation X, if you ever watch this in future, this is not meant to castigate you in any way. But the question is, no Nation, do you think it was because of the fact that she could not have kids? Do you think that have anything to do with her dating you at the time? Let me know what you think. Why was they already laugh? What were you laughing at? Simple. If I laugh, I die. Oh Lord, no man, didn't they? No one did it heavy. No one did it heavy. We didn't ever watch it down. We didn't ever watch it down. Let me drop. Non-alcoholic. Okay, guys. Non-alcoholic for anybody who watch it future. Don't text my phone and ask me what was that I was going on with. What you do? Wait, son, bring me a glass. Simple easy attack. Ooh. Oh Lord, have mercy on us. Yes, let me put this back down here. I don't know, Nation. You want to share? If you want to come, if you have the time and you want to come up, Nation, feel free to join me if you want to explain, because I have some questions that I really want to ask. See, what's wrong? Why you have to drink what? I've watched down the one day. I had to wash it down, Nation. It was too heavy. Simple, easy. Because at the time, okay, he's answering here. Because at the time, I didn't get any kids, and she said she knows every man wants a child, so she won't deprive me. Okay. Lady, if you're watching in future, that was very noble and honorable of you. I respect you for that, and I'm sure Green Nation and his family respected you for that as well. Right? But I pray though that with Pers, I don't know how old she is now, whether she has passed the childbearing age, but I know that with Pers, God could fix that for her. Okay, I didn't know that. And so you there and live it on the clock and on the live. I appreciate you so much, but listen, my tax return can't mind nobody a year, so make sure we don't lose the job. Not losing a job because I'm alive. Tell them Jesus turned water into wine. If they ask you, exactly. No man, honestly, in there sometimes, and this is something I don't like on my live stream or so. People with, and I'm not talking my siblings. So if you're watching, I don't know, it's a bit of care what to think. I'm not talking my siblings. Let me make that disclaimer. But like people will text you and that sort of thing about something you did, and I'm like, if you care enough to watch me and see what I'm doing, but you can't even care enough to SUBSCRIBE or to type in the chat or give a thumbs up, then am I that important to you? You understand? Very important to you then. And I'm sure you guys must have had that experience. Oh Lord. That was very thoughtful of her, Green. Yes, I respect her for that. That is what you call a godly person, a Christ-like person. But I pray that, if she hasn't reached childbearing age, that God will open her womb and give her the fruit of her womb, a child for her to enjoy. God is able to do just what he said he would do. He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you. He's able. He's able. So Miss Green Nations X, that little prayer is for you. When she was young, she did a surgery for fibroids and the doctor removed everything. Okay, I'm so sorry to hear that. Because these days, is something that's my family is a lot of us in our family has. I didn't remove mine, but I have maybe 3 or 4 family members who have removed theirs. But I do find that with modern medicination, I don't know how long ago that was, but with modern medicine, they're able to do more than they can decades ago, where fibroids is concerned, where they can successfully remove and still leave the person intact in the sense of being able to have children after that. So I pray for her honesty and her nobility. I pray that God blesses her with the fruit of her womb. Okay, guys. So here's the clip now. In response to that, regarding that 14-year-old, I'm gonna share the clip now so that you can see. Remember, so far I didn't disclose the age of the man. Now we're gonna see the man. Let's see the man and hear a little about him. These clips are very short, so there's not much to hear. But let's see who is the man that the mother of this 14-year-old girl sold, in the girl own words, sold her to when she was 14, and who she know at 18 she now has a child for. So roll this clip.
Did you know how? It's my love.
Who is your love? Don't call me your love. I'm not your love. Who is your love? Please don't call me your love. Please.
Okay. No, I married you.
So, sir, you married her when she was 14 years?
Yes, I married her 14 years.
Sorry.
Okay, guys. So that's the dad. That's the husband of the 14-year-old, right? And if you go into the full video, the man is 55-year-old. 55-year-old great tone. We used to call it bigger steering great tone. 55-year-old. There should be some law in any country at all against things like those. What on earth would you see? You have money. Because the mother, in the video, the girl explained that it's because the mother didn't have money. I think the father died and they were poor. And so this was a deal that she made so that she would get money for the bride price. But as the girl put it, she sold her to the man, right? So I'm thinking, if you have money like that to buy a bride, quote unquote, at 55, and obviously nothing really wrong with you because she's now 18 and she has a child for you. What is going on in your cranium, in your head space? What is going on between them two things here? Why a 14-year-old, and it's not just an average 55-year-old? Look on the big old steering man. Look at the size of that man. Look at the build. You understand? Look at the build and the stature of that man. And look how small the girl is. 14. What on earth were you thinking? This is a pedophile. This is somebody to be afraid of. I mean, if I had my young girl my young daughter in my community and had him as a neighbor, after knowing all this, I would be afraid of him. Let's take another look.
Did you know how? It's my love.
Who is your love? Don't call me your love. I'm not your love. Who is your love? Please don't call me your love. Please.
Okay. No, I married you.
So, sir, you married her when she was 14 years?
Yes, I married her 14 years.
Sorry.
Can you imagine? You can, as they would say back home, you can still see the breast milk from the little girl mouth, and she has a baby, although she's 18 now. Or sometimes you'd say you still see the socks mark around your ankle, meaning, in high school we wear our socks and we wear them at our ankle, and it does, for those 5 or 7 years, it does leave a mark. It leaves a mark that takes years to go away. So that was an expression we'd use in Jamaica to say, I can still see the socks mark on your ankle, meaning I can still see you're a young child. You're a school age child. You're a school girl. So and they say one thing with Africans, they're very spooky. Yes. Because I'm like, she's so tiny. If that man just hold her by one hand, he could practically just, you know. And she's like, who's your love? Don't call me your love. Very vocal. She's raging with anger. Honestly, when you watch the full video, she was crying, she was begging Real Zitachi, that's the host, the YouTuber, begging her, please, auntie, please, please, please help me. I don't want. And when she go on and say from she was 14, and all of the nightly activities and whatever, she's like, oh my God, he doesn't want to send her back to school. That is the main reason he's appealing to her now for help. Because the man don't want to send her back to school and she wants to go to school. She's like, all my age mates finish secondary school, go on to whatever they're doing. And I had to stop. Imagine at 14, then hear the big old great old man now. If him for send her back to school, all them little boys gonna be following behind her. I'm like, come on. Honestly, no. Trust me. But that is it, guys. That is how it is in some cultures. That is how it is in some churches. If you some religions and some churches like the what do you call them again? The Amish up in Pennsylvania. It's Pennsylvania, right? And those very young, they marry very young. They marry family members and that sort of thing. So different cultures, different religions, even different legal system in different countries, you understand. But at the end of the day, is what is right in God's eye. There's no, I don't see anywhere in the Bible where the age limits or the age difference, the age gap, where anything is stipulated. But as I stated earlier on, with Abraham and Sarah, they were 10 years apart. Their ages are stated. Sarah was 90 when the angel visited her to tell her that she'd be blessed with a child to make that promise. And Abraham was 100. But from what I can think of offhand, I think maybe Boaz and Naomi Boaz and Ruth were perhaps the widest age gap. I don't know if there's anything else. Anyone else? If you watch this in future and you know of anyone, you can put your comments below the video. Because Naomi was Ruth's mother-in-law, as I said earlier on in the program. Naomi had two sons and they both died. One of them was Ruth's husband. So Naomi was Ruth's mother-in-law. And when Naomi was suggesting for Ruth to go meet Boaz, go look Boaz, so to speak. Boaz is Ruth's family member, and I do think Boaz is an older family member than Naomi. So that suggests that Boaz must have been very much older than Ruth. So that is the widest age gap I perhaps can think of, but the ages are not stated, which suggests to me then from these examples that in God's eye, the age gap is not a matter, it's not a factor, it's not wrong or there's a sin or anything. So everybody has to judge. Use your own wisdom and with prayer, judge for yourself. See, Nation shared an example. Green Nation shared an example with a 19 years age gap, and things were okay. But the splits came because of, not wanting to say entrap him, and she knew she couldn't bear a child, and they were young. He was young, and she would know that he would want a child, right? So, what is your own experience? What is your own observation? What are your thoughts? As long as they are, within the standards that God has for his people, what do you have to share? You can comment in the comment section if you're on the live now. If you watch this in future, feel free to share your comments in the comment section. And as I said, these programs, we go live 7:15 every Sunday evening by God's grace. Here is a space in which you can meet someone of the opposite sex if you're interested, a godly person, a Christ-like person. If you're interested in, meeting a partner, maybe you're praying for God to send you someone and you don't see anyone in your own different spheres of life, church, work, Gone are the days when people meet people on the bus or at the bus stop, at the train. But it still happens. It's not as much as before, but it still happens. Nowadays, you have like online dating and stuff. I discussed that in the first installment, I think, or the second of this show. But I don't know. It's not for me, but it works for some people. Who knows? If you have your story, feel free to reach out to me if you want to share, if you want to call, if you want to call and you want me to share it on the platform, that's fine. Or if you want to share it yourself, but online dating is like the modern version of pen pal. So who knows? I've had relatives who have gone that road, but it didn't work. Maybe it has gone that road for you and it works. So who knows? But you can reach out to me if you so desire, and if anybody else reach out to me, a member of the opposite sex who is interested in it, who knows? I can link it together. I've always been a matchmaker. I have at least two successful marriages I can think of so far. With me, introduce them to each other. I can think of it. Yes, one and the first one were those were my friends from college, and I was the MC at the wedding. I was the MC at that wedding. I'm not going to call the names because people know people. And then the second one was two individuals from my church up in New York, and I gave the toast to the guy at the wedding, to the groom. Yes, so we can go in a business, make some money. So so that's how it is. So reach out to me, guys, if you like to. I can remember a friend of mine told me about a family member who met someone online, and I think was it on Facebook or which one of them at the time? And she says like every time she go online, the person would just pop up in her inbox, and she keeps saying, like, with this ugly red man sort of thing. The person just from appearance wasn't just her, it just wasn't her type of person. And it so ended up that the person went down to meet her, and I can't give all the details, because people know people, and I'm not gonna tell. It's not the person told me themselves. It's a friend of mine told me about a family member, and her her husband. So I think, or which one is a family member? I don't remember which one of the couples. So I can't give the details, but it just so happened that the person went down to meet her, and happily ever after sort of story. So it works for some people, for some it doesn't. So that's up to you whether it works. So if anyone have anything else to comment, you feel free to do so. The link is pinned. If anyone want to come up and share their experience or their thoughts, did I pin it? Let me see. Oh Lord, me remove it. I thought I pinned it. Let me see if it's pinned. Yeah, it's there. It's pinned. Yes. Right. So feel free if you want to come up, you can click that link and come up. If you want to call in, I can drop a number that you can call on WhatsApp. So the discussion continues. Let me know your comments. And I want to thank you all who are still here with me. Thanks for coming. If you're just coming in and you didn't give a thumbs up as yet, you can do so now. So if you want to come up and share your thoughts or your own experience, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. Feel free to do so. All right. Drink water and mind my business.
Simple things, Outreach Media. Simple things, Outreach Media. Simple things, simple things, simple things. Get your daily dose, fill your cup up to the brim until it overflows. Blessings of God and simple things. Morning worship when you rise. Enrich your lifestyle. Hear words of wisdom. Experience God's love. Only on simple things. Outreach Media. Simple things. Outreach Media. Simple things. Simple things. Simple things. And remember to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and experience simple things. Outreach Media.
So thanks for being here with me. For those of you who are still here, if you want to come up and share your experience or your thoughts on the topic, feel free to do so. I wanted to look at gender identity this week. That's what I promised last week, but I don't really want to go into them every topics there right now, honestly. But here is where we hope to we intend to discuss the topics that are like taboo that the church don't talk about enough, and that those are the things that people are struggling with. Single people are struggling with, especially single young people. But this is not just for young people; it's for grown folks as well. All right, so I was telling them at church yesterday about the lunar eclipse that's coming up, and everything mixed up in one. I'm a Earth and space science person. I'm so intrigued by everything that is up there. I'm more intrigued by what's up there than what's down here on Earth. And just when I look up in the skies, especially I work nights, and sometimes, especially in the morning, I see some things like 5 o'clock when I'm leaving work. I see some things that honestly you really wonder. Yeah, you're like, God, good, and good, bad, as Jamaicans would say. So this month, on the 25th, there should be a lunar eclipse, a moon eclipse. I'm looking forward to that one. Oh, I wish I had a telescope. Lord, can someone bless me with a telescope, even just a mini telescope? So, but I'll only have to use my phone. I love watching those things. From I was small, my dad, God rest his soul, used to wake up at nights for those things. Maybe that's why I got the interest because he would always watch or read. He would read at that time and know because that was primary school. We didn't even have electricity then in my area, so we didn't have television. So he would read and he would know when like sun eclipse or lunar eclipse and that, and he'd wake me up at night. Or if there's gonna be like asteroid, meteorite shower or anything going on up in the skies at night, he would wake me up for us to watch it together. I always used to look forward to that. So I developed an interest in that sort of thing from an early age. And when I was running the GD program, I used to be the Earth and Space Science teacher. So I had to read more and learn more about these things and that sort of thing. And I remember we did a trip one year. I took the students to the is what Ministry of Modern Arts. I mean Museum of Modern Arts, MoMA. Is that one in or Museum of Natural History? Is which one? I don't remember. In Manhattan, near the Central Park area. And I remember one of the students was like, "Oh my God, Miss Denise, this is like the best experience of a lifetime. I've never been to something like that. I've never seen some of these things, and I was always interested because I always like the one in that little. They have a little theater part where they have a little show on the Big Bang Theory, and I always used to like watching that one because it just proved to me even more that there's a God because it's I'm not bashing anybody's belief, but it's really crazy when you think the people who came up with this theory about Big Bang, and when you match it with what the Bible has to say. And by the way, I have a video on my channel about that, the truth behind the Big Bang theory. You can check that one out, guys. That is when way back in 2020 when I just started my YouTube channel. But I learned so much. So there's a lunar eclipse coming up on the 25th of this month. I am looking forward to that one. Because just like the dark day of, it's not 1833. 1833 was the meteor shower. When was the dark day? I don't remember, but sometime back in them days there. When the day went dark for, I don't remember, but I think it was like 10 o'clock in the morning and went dark for how long, I don't remember. It's going to be something similar because this time the scientists say, the astronomers, right, say it's going to go dark for 4 minutes that day on the 25th. A lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse is when the moon comes between the earth and the sun. So the moon eclipses the sun, meaning the moon blocks out the light of the sun. So for 4 minutes, the moon will stay between the earth and the sun, and the earth is going to go dark. Now, if you live anywhere between Texas, there's almost like a straight line across between Texas and Maine. you'll be able to experience it. Oh my Lord, I love to. And they say flights are sold out, hotels are booked out. All the people who love, the sky watchers have all booked out hotels and flights to go. Oh, I'd love to. But I don't know how much of it we'll be able to see from here, or if you're in another country or another area, I don't know. But I pray God bless me with a little telescope that I can see it and get some good pictures that night. I love that. I pray God bless me with somebody this time who loves those things like me. Then we can share together. Future husband, yes. And don't be too old, as I said, because me and the old age thing no go hand in hand. No, sir. That's still too young. Right, guys. So if you're still here with us, if you're new, I see some more people coming in. Give a thumbs up now, please. Like this video, share this video, because you can always rewatch. We had some very interesting video clips and some very interesting discussion as we look at the age difference. How old is too old for a relationship, for a marriage, for courtship, for a marriage? How old would you go? Or how young is too young? Does it matter? And we looked at some examples, right? And we realized that the Bible doesn't really give any stipulation. So it's more like an individual basis. The person can be old, The person can be much older than you. Let's say you're in your 20s and the person is even twice your age. But the person still act like, like a boy, or if it's the other way around, which is highly unlikely. But here we had Green Nation sharing that he once had a girlfriend who was 19 years his senior. So it can be the other way around. But it's sometimes age don't make a difference in terms of responsibility and maturity, right? Sometimes age don't make a difference in terms of success and that sort of thing, and achievement. Sometimes age don't make a difference in your spiritual growth, right? The person can be even a person could have come to Christ from, or maybe born and raised in the church, as we used to say, but that doesn't mean the person is more spiritually mature than you are. You understand? That doesn't mean the person is more responsible or financially accomplished or more exposed or more educated or intelligent or any of these things. You understand? So age might not make a difference in that case, right? So it's all, to me, it's all judged on an individual basis. But for me personally, not too much older, especially at this age. Even when I was small, 2 years was okay for me, and definitely not 4. Definitely not more than 4 at this age. Because at my age now, nobody up in them 60s. Not for me. At this age, no, I'd more easily go younger than older, honestly. But what about you? Let me know what you're thinking. If you're just coming in, you can share in the chat. And for those who have been here with me from the start, if you're still here, I do appreciate you. Those who are already gone on, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for coming in, everyone. Give a thumbs up. I'm not going to stay much longer. I shared some video clips. I see like some new people coming in, so I'm gonna just share those 3. I'm not gonna reopen the discussion on those video clips, but I'm just gonna share those 3 video clips again, and you can form your own opinion. All right. So the first one is from Judge Mattis' show. Let me go ahead and share that one for you. You can put your comments in the chat or just form your own opinion or your own thoughts. But I'm not going to reopen that discussion again because I'm winding down. Okay. I can't sit up too long because of my back and my shoulder. And especially I have to crane my neck like this to look through the glasses, and it has a strain on my shoulder because of the accident. So the first one from Judge Mathis, let me go ahead and share that.
Let's get started with it.
Well, we got married at a very young age, at 14 and 19.
14? And he was 19?
Yes, sir.
That's illegal.
Well, not in Kentucky. Not in Kentucky.
All right. So 14 and 19. I mean, in this case, it's not the age gap that's the difference, but the fact that they were both very young. And I looked it up, and 16 is the age of consent, the age you can get married, not the age of consent. Well, the age of consent is 16 in Kentucky. So I don't know for getting married if you're younger than that. If you're 14, I don't know if you can get married with your parents' consent. So I really don't know. All right. And the other couple now is from Real Zitachi. That's an African, a Nigerian girl whose channel I've been following. She does, real. I don't like too much acting and stuff. When it comes, I like people sharing their experience. And hers is more like loyalty tests and that sort of thing, or helping people who, you know, having trouble in their relationships or that sort of thing. Intervention sort of thing she does. So I'm gonna show that one now when you can form your own opinion. If you're new, I'm just going back over these clips because perhaps you just came in. Give a thumbs up if you haven't yet done so. And you can rewatch when I'm through because I'm winding down now. So this one now, let's go ahead and share this one.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please, I beg everyone to help me out because since I'm 40 years, my mom have given me to one old man to marry. They see my baby at my age. I've born this baby. Now I'm 18 years. I'm supposed to go back to school because I like to go to school. Because my mommy love money. Because my mommy sold me to old man. And please, anything I say, I beg you.
Okay, so she said her mommy loved money. And because her mommy loved money, she sold her to one old man when she was 14. So the mom took the money from the man as bride price. She said sell, which is pretty much the same. So now she want to go back to school. She's 18 and she has a child for him. She want to go back to school. He doesn't want to allow her to go back to school. So now she reached out to Rizitachi for help. So now we're gonna see. So she's 14. Now we're gonna see the old man. All right. As I said, we're not reopening the discussion, but I see some people just came in, so I just wanna show you these clips that we use as part of our dialogue or discussion earlier. So now let's see who this old man is.
Did you know how? It's my love.
Who is your love? Don't call me your love. I'm not your love. Who is your love? Please don't call me your love. Please.
You know, I married you.
So, sir, you married her when she was 14 years?
Yes, I married her 14 years.
Sorry.
Okay, so now we see the big, as we say in Jamaica, big ass steering man. And if you watch the full video, he's actually 55. 55 or 40. You remember Shabarans and Diana, what's her last name again? Had the song, I'm in love with a man nearly twice my age. Now this one, if you can do maths and you talk, this one is more than 3 times her age. And look at the poor little girl and the big old gray tone man. So the dialogue continues. How old is too old? Does age make a difference? Is it just a personal case? The Bible only mentioned a few cases like Abraham and Sarah. The Bible mentioned their age. They were 10 years apart. And I do believe, as I said earlier on, that maybe the oldest I can think of, if I'm wrong, you can correct me in the chat, or if you watch this in future, is maybe Boaz and Ruth, because Ruth was Naomi's daughter-in-law, and Boaz was an older family member of Ruth. Did I say it correctly? Yes. So Ruth and Boaz must have had a very wide age gap. So those are some of the clips and some of the examples from the Bible that we use as the background against which we had our discussion tonight. I'm winding down now. Remember, I'm no longer monetized, but you can still support this channel because I'm not doing as much outreach. I haven't been on doing a live for almost 2 years until I started this show in February. And I'm not doing as much outreach again because of time and constraint. I don't have my own vehicle right now anymore and that sort of thing. I'd gone back to work, but I had an accident and I was out of work I was away from work for like over 3 months. I just started going back maybe 4 weeks ago on a part-time basis because of what I can manage. But you can still support this channel. I still do homeless. I still feed the homeless in the area where my church is, myself and another lady. So I do have PayPal if you'd like to, or Zelle. For Zelle, you can use my phone number. You can reach out to me, and I'll give you that phone number. But also, if you have PayPal, my PayPal link is in the description, or you can reach out to me for that. So you can also bless this channel by contributing to my PayPal. Okay, so you can reach out to me on Facebook or on IG if you'd like to also connect with someone of the opposite sex, of like faith, preferably, That's what this program is all about. All right. And on Facebook, at Simple Things Outreach Media, and on Insta, you can find me here. Okay, follow me on Insta. I'm trying to reach my 1K, okay? And here on my YT platform, I'm pretty close to my 3K. I'm just like maybe 17 or so away. So share with a friend. I have interesting content, health, religion, and I have religion, I have prophecy, I have outreach, I have music, I have a playlist of also, guys, I have a playlist of tracks that you can use for like a church, your choir, or praise and worship, song service, that sort of thing. You can check out that playlist on my channel as well. I have a wide nature, science, a wide array of videos, just not politics. Although we were discussing a little Jamaican politics tonight, because what happened with the local government election is still, they can't see one whole week and they can't decide who win. So a little of that. All right. So if you're just coming in, I'm about to go out now. So help me to my 3K, please, as well. I'm trying to get back my monetization as well. So I also need the hours. So help me with that. Share with a friend. These shows, the content is of such that you can rewatch. All right. There's a lot of information in them, a lot of wisdom in them. And sometimes you really get vibesy as well. You can go back and watch them, or you can share with someone. So if you're just coming in, I'll let the 3 minutes run off. I'll go off by 2:30. So I thank you for joining me. We had some interesting times with everyone who was here. Let me see if I can remember everyone. I'm not going to remember everyone, but let me see if I can remember some of the names. And thank you personally. India was here. Green Nation Vlog was here. Well, that's India Stay Motivated Marie. Green Nation Vlog was here. Patricia Brown was here. Juba Bruce Love TV was here. Who else? We Unlock Nation was here. Miss Gay, Mika's mom, was here. The Innes family was here. Chilling with Lady D was here. I don't know if I can remember all the names. Paul Wow, my Italian friend, was here. Overton, son of a king, all the way out of the UK, was here. Who else was in the chat? I can't remember all the names. I hope I don't miss anybody. But if I don't call your name, I appreciate you so much. And I thank you for being here. If you have Livingston, of course, Livingston, my friend Livingston, right, was here. If I missed your name, please forgive me. And if you didn't type in the chat, that's perhaps because you're not connected with me. So hit the word SUBSCRIBE so you can find in the Truth Ministry. My prior member was here. All right. Hit that word and connect with me as well. So you can always communicate with us in the chat. All right. If I missed anybody, please forgive me. I thank you so much for coming in. I'm about to go out now. Let me see if I can remember anybody else. And anybody who didn't type in the chat, then I wouldn't be able to give you a shout out. So I love you all, and I thank you for coming in. As I say, it's time to say goodbye. It's time to say goodbye for now. We'll have a second time around. But before you go, there's something I'd like to say. I don't remember that song, Boys to Men. Oh, the chorus go? I don't remember. I don't even remember. So thank you so much for coming in, everyone. Until next time, that's Sunday again at 7:15 Eastern Standard Time. Connect with me by subscribing to my channel and join us live again for another interesting topic. Interesting topic. I'm not gonna be like most Jamaicans. I mix up interested with interesting. I am not gonna promise the topic because I don't want to do like I did last week and I changed my mind about the topic. But just know that's another interesting topic. Connect with me. Follow me on Insta if you want to reach out. If you want to connect with someone new and form a friendship or a relationship that can possibly lead to marriage, someone of the opposite sex, you can reach out to me as well. And I just want to say God bless you all. Thank you for coming. May God grant you peace and hope. And more than all, I pray you give your heart to Christ before it's too late. We see the times we're living in. So until next time, thanks for joining. And remember, simple things love you, but God loves you more. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Simple things, Outreach Media. Simple things, Outreach Media. Simple things, simple things, simple things. Get your daily dose, fill your cup up to the brim until it overflows. Blessings of God and simple things. Morning worship when you rise. Enrich your lifestyle. Hear words of wisdom. Experience God's love. Only on simple things. Outreach Media. Simple things. Outreach Media. Simple things. Simple things. Simple things. And remember to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and experience simple things. Outreach Media.